Welcome back everyone to my channel. Today I am going to explain Eternals movie, and thanks for giving so much love to my previous videos. This movie is recently released, and I think I am the first one who is going to cover this movie. So those who don't know about this movie, I want to tell them that it is a 2021 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics, and it is directed by Chloe Zhao. So I think it's enough introduction and let's get into it. The Celestial is seen at the beginning of the film, and they are also known as Sky Aliens. Its name was Arishem, who made sun and then moon. The light started from there and our Earth grew. Meanwhile, some strange deviants appear from the deep space. They were also called weird creatures. They feed themselves while eating humans and animals while coming to the Earth. The scene 7,000 years ago is shown in this movie. Some ancient people are shown catching fish. That strange creature attacks them while appearing from the water. The deviants hunt humans. It moves towards the kid after eating the man. An Eternal moves to the Earth. Arishem has sent him to the Earth, so he will save people from those deviants. Icarus was a powerful Eternal. He can end those creatures while emitting laser light from his eyes. He can even fly in the air. Icarus ends a creature. Meanwhile, many creatures appear there. The Eternals arrive at Earth. They end those strange creatures. The humans were scared of seeing those Eternals there. Then an Eternal controls the human minds named Droog. He has the ability to control humans' minds and can manage them as he wants. Eternals start the initiative to be human friends. Later, they started living with humans on the Earth. Eternals were living with humans and were helping them to improve their technology. They used to fight a lot with each other. Droog often stops them to fight while controlling their mind. The leader of Eternals forbids him from doing this, because the Celestials' leader has sent them to save humans and increase their population and forbidden them to participate in any other thing except for this. Droog doesn't obey her, and Ajak says while hearing Droog, "Now you are free." She says you can go wherever you want to go. You can spend life as you want. They left the city, and then the scene of the present is shown. The Eternals were living in this world for 7,000 years. Still, their age was the same. An Eternal Cersei is shown who teaches kids in this school. Her friend, whose name was Dane Whitman, was controlling the kids because she was late. Meanwhile, Cersei arrives and thanks Dane for managing the kids for so long. As Cersei's friend leaves, there was an earthquake. Meanwhile, a statue was about to fall on Cersei's student. Cersei changes the statue into the sand with her powers. Cersei had the power that she could manipulate any one matter into another matter. At night, Cersei goes to a club with Dane, and then scene shifts to another Eternal named Sprite. She had the ability to take anyone's jet up easily. But whoever touches Sprite's body, light started coming out from inside him. Due to it, Sprite was single for the past 7,000 years. Cersei was celebrating Dane's birthday in the club. Dane knows something about her, like Cersei is too old, and as she is a magician. They were moving while talking. Meanwhile, a deviant appears and attacks Cersei's friend. Meanwhile, Cersei makes the feet of the creature frozen through her powers. Cersei's friend asks her to tell me what is it. Cersei tells him these are the deviants, but her friend says they were ended many years ago. How did it survive? The creature runs from there while releasing itself from the sand. Cersei and Sprite chase that creature. Cersei's friend also tries to jump like Cersei, but he couldn't, and Cersei tried to distract that creature, but the creature doesn't distract and attacks Sprite. Then Icarus comes over there and injures the deviant. They notice the creature has the ability to heal, and only Ajak, who is the leader of Eternals, has those powers. Icarus again attacks the creature, but that creature runs away from there. Now we also come to know here that Icarus married Cersei 5,000 years ago. Then he left Cersei 2,000 years ago. Cersei says to her friend, "Now I have to go, because some people need me." Her friend says, "If you are a superhero, then where were you when there were problems on Earth, and Thanos killed half population of the Earth?" Cersei says, "We are sent on Earth, just to end the deviants. We were not allowed to do anything else or interfere in humanity, except for increasing population and increase the technology of people." They go to meet Ajak, so they will tell their leader that the deviants have arrived again, and this time they are more powerful. They reach Ajak and discover Ajak has died. This happened on the Earth for the first time that an Eternal died. They understand that Ajak is ended by that creature who attacked them before, and that deviant killed Ajak and absorbed all her powers. Then we see that a powerful stone emerges from the neck of Ajak, and that stone goes inside the Cersei. That means Ajak has chosen Cersei for the next leader of Eternals after her death. Now Cersei could talk to Arishem. Now they decides to assemble their team, so that once again all the Eternals together can kill those deviants. And they go to the Kingo first. Kingo has the ability to take out the small fire bullets from his fingers. Kingo has become a superstar, and has done many movies in Bollywood. They ask Kingo to come with them, but he says, "I have to do a lot of work, and I have signed a lot of movies." But when the Kingo hears that Ajak is dead, he becomes very sad after hearing this. And he then gets ready at the behest of his manager. They go to Australia through Kingo's private plane. Their two other Eternals live there. Reaching there, they find a huge creature died there. Kingo's manager says these creatures were used to be so pretty. Are you insane, according to Kingo? Which angle makes this stench and rotten creature appear attractive? They meet another member named Gilgamesh. He asks them to try his cake. They tell him the news of Ajak's death and he becomes depressed, and the cake also falls from his hand. Later, they move to another member named Thena. She was making drawings while sitting under a tree. Actually, Thena gets fits, and whenever it happens she attacks anyone. Gilgamesh was living with Thena for the past 7,000 years. Thena has the ability to attack while taking out a powerful weapon from her hands. Thena was attacking them, and Sprite changes the atmosphere there. She tries to make her remember who are they, and what is their purpose. Gilgamesh makes Thena understand, and she becomes normal. Later, they have dinner. Cersei moves to the place where Thena was making drawings. She sees her drawing and tries to contact her leader, then her soul reaches her leader. She tells her leader that the Deviants have arrived again on the Earth. They even have stolen Ajak's powers while ending her, and many weird things are happening on Earth. Airsham, their leader, tells her this is the mark of an emergence. Cersei asks him what is emergence. He says now this is the time to tell you about your real purpose. Actually, you were sent on the Earth to end the Deviants, and I have planted a seed on the Earth many thousand years ago. The seed needs million years and the energy of humans to grow. But I have made a mistake while making humans and animals. Those strange Deviants were born by my mistake. They were decreasing the people's population while leading them, and then I made you and Eternals like you. So I will be able to end those Deviants creatures through you. Cersei asks him did Ajak knew this. He tells, you and Ajak have often helped Celestial to be born on Earth. Cersei says why don't I remember all this? He says I erase your memories every time, that's why you don't remember anything. Here we come to know one more thing, that Thena who used to have dreams were her old memories which were not completely erased yet. Cersei comes back and tells this to her other team members. Hearing this, they get shocked. Cersei says we have to save humans and stop this emergence to happen. Otherwise, because of it, the humans will be ended. Then Icarus says, we have to go in search of others, and we will decide what we have to do when we will be together. They go to Amazon forest where Droog lives. They tell Droog everything, but he wasn't ready to go with them. Now there, many Deviants attack them. And Kingo fires through his fingers. Sprite tries to save Kingo's manager. Now, Icarus competes with the creature there. The creature throws Icarus down and tries to take his powers, but Gilgamesh arrives. And delivers a powerful punch with his hands. Gilgamesh had this power that he could punch very hard with his hands. The creature tries to attack Cersei, and she changes it into a tree. On the other hand, the creatures attack Thena, but Gilgamesh saves her. But the leader of the Deviants kills Gilgamesh, and absorbs his powers. As it transfers Gilgamesh's powers, it takes the human body shape, and he also understands the emergence. After this Gilgamesh dies and while leaving tells Thena to remember me. After that, Cersei and Icarus move to another member Phastos. Phastos says I live with my family and I can't go with you. But he soon agrees and gets ready to go with them. The Eternals move to a rock, and their spaceship was inside the Earth for the past 7,000 years. As they move inside the spaceship, Makari was already there. Makari was their member who can't speak, but can run faster than lightning. Then Phastos creates such a technology over there that all Eternals can use their powers to stop that emergence. He says if the creatures can use our powers, we can also use our powers together. Phastos was an intelligent engineer, and he has helped to increase human technology. Then the stone locket worn by Cersei starts shining. Cersei realizes that the emergence is about to happen. Phastos asks Makari to go and discover where this emergence will happen. Now Makari discovers the emergence while moving around the Earth in very less time. In the next scene, Icarus breaks the technology machine of Phastos. From this it is known that it was Icarus who killed Ajak. Ajak also wanted this, that the emergence should stop because she too started liking humans. That is why Icarus has ended Ajak. When Ajak told Icarus the emergence is about to happen, and we have to tell this to Eternals, but Icarus has thrown Ajak in front of those Deviants. Those Deviants had absorbed Ajak's powers by killing her. Icarus again leaves Ajak to her home when she died. When they ask reason from Icarus, he says my life is given by Airsham. I will end you if I will have to. Saying this, Icarus leaves and Sprite was also go with him. Kingo was also leaving and said we can't do anything without Icarus's help, and Kingo also leaves as well. They left and the other Eternals' powers weren't enough to stop the emergence. Then Phastos says to Cersei that your powers can join Airsham with you. He says we can make a unit band, by which that emergence will stop. He makes a band with Cersei's stone, and they reach the place with their spaceship, the place where emergence will start. There Icarus and Sprite were seeing emergence to happen. Then the rest of the Eternals also come there to stop that emergence. A huge celestial was about to appear from the emergence, that will be harmful to the world. Then they connect their band to stop the emergence with their powers. Over there Icarus picks up the Droog and throws him away. Seeing all this, Makari cries and screams a lot. And she beats Icarus, so much that Icarus would not have been beaten, so much for 7,000 years. Cersei says to Phastos, I will try to stop this emergence alone. Phastos says okay, you try to stop this, and we will try to stop Icarus. Now the rest of the Eternals compete with the Icarus. The leader of the Deviants arrives there, and Makari makes a huge circle around it, but it holds Makari and tries to absorb her powers. Meanwhile, Phastos attacks the Deviant and that Deviant throws Makari away. And he himself falls into a cave inside the mountains. Then Phastos ties Icarus with his technology. On the other hand, when Circe is about to stop the emergence, the sprite comes there and stabs her. She says, I don't want to save humans. I am here on the earth for 7,000 years, and I never know what is love. And what is a family. Meanwhile, Drug comes and attacks on Sprite's head. Thena is shown on the other side, and her past was irritating her. On the other hand, we see Thena, who was bothered by the past, and Deviant was trying to take her powers by becoming Gilgamesh. But then Thena regains her consciousness, and she produces a dangerous weapon with her powers, and she divides the creature into pieces. Then we see that emergence was started, and the hands of Celestial were appearing gradually. Circe was trying to stop the Celestial with her powers. But then Icarus was released and moves to kill Circe. But then he starts remembering the moments spent with Circe. And then Icarus also tries to stop the emergence by joining them. Now the emergency stops, and the Celestial dies before being born. Icarus sees Circe for the last time, and disappears while moving towards the sun. On the other side, Makari was happy to see Drug and hugs him. In the next scene, Circe says to Sprite that I still have the celestial powers. I can make you fine if you want, but then you will become a normal human, and will die one day. But Sprite says yes, I am ready. And after that they go to Phastos' house for dinner, and Sprite had taken admission in the school as well. After that Circe meets Dane, and he says I wanted to tell you that my family history is a bit complicated. Then a portal opens in the sky, and Arishem calls the Eternals including Circe to him. He says you have murdered a Celestial to save humans. For now, I am forgiving you and leaving. I will tell you my decision when I will return. That what should I have to do with you? Then this movie ends here. But this movie has 2 post-credit scenes. One mid-credit and one post-credit. In the first mid-credit scene, the Drug, Thena, and Makari are sitting in the domo, and only then a portal opens there. 2 people come out of this, and the first one who comes out is Peep, and he praises a person whose name is Iros. And unfortunately he was the brother of Thanos. Somehow, Thanos also knew the Celestials destroy a planet in 7,000 years, so he had finished half the population with his stones, so that the emergence could be averted. Now this scene ends here and starts next post-credit scene, where we can see Dane. Near it is a family sword, which is calling it. Dane looking at that sword says that death is my reward, and that sword is also calling to him. Then someone's voice comes there, and the person says that are you ready for that? And this is the sound of none other than Blade. So this was all for today, and also tell me in comment section that who was your favorite Eternal. And if you like the video please give a thumbs up and must subscribe to my channel for more amazing videos like this.